The book of Lamentations in the Bible was written by the prophet Jeremiah. He was weeping over the destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylonians in 586 BC. You know, it was a tragic scene and a tragic time, and yet in the midst of all of that destruction and all of his grief, he pens a remarkable perspective. He says, "This I recall to mind, therefore I have hope. The Lord's loving kindnesses indeed never cease, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." He's reminding himself of truth. Honestly, in the midst of a crisis, we all probably don't need to learn something new as much as we need to remember what we already know. We need reminding a whole lot more than we need instructing. As Jeremiah surveys the rubble of his beloved city, he recalls the truth he knew from childhood, and he reminds his readers and us of some very important realities. In those reminders, he finds hope, and he shares that hope with us. First, he remembers that the Lord's loving kindnesses will never stop. The Hebrew word there refers to God's steadfast, loyal, covenant love. It's not love based on us and how well we meet his expectations. It's grace. It's love based on his commitment to us. And God will never stop showing that love. Jeremiah reminds us that God's compassions never fail. He never stops caring about us and the difficulties that we're going through. Second, Jeremiah reminds us that God's loving kindnesses and compassions are new every morning. Every single day, God reveals more of his love and care. When everything seems to be going crazy around us, it's easy to focus on the negatives and miss the positives. But God's fingerprints really are all around us. Even in the hardest of times, there are things to be thankful for. Often we don't see them because we don't look for them. Every day, God reveals a part of himself, and if we don't look to him that day, we'll miss it. Third, Jeremiah reminds himself, great is your faithfulness. As another biblical writer would record centuries later, if we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot deny himself. Being faithful is just an inseparable part of who God is. Now, as you deal with the challenges of today, remember this: your victory is not found in your great faith, but his great faithfulness.